Hi everyone, welcome to our talk series. This is the fourth part to our fashion styling session. In this one, we're going to be talking about trends and specifically talking about bag trends. This knowledge you can use it in shoes. You can look at jewelry and really understand what these trends are. As a stylist, this is very crucial, and it helps you basically be more aware of what's happening right now. And so when you're talking to your client, you can suggest things that are current instead of giving them ideas that are outdated or something that they can't wear and something that just won't work in 2020. So what are fashion trends? Basically, fashion trends are something that is popular right now. What is in fashion? What are the colors that are in fashion? So what is happening right now? So a very simple example is bell-bottom jeans. Now, 10 years back, that was in fashion. Every possible store had bell-bottom jeans. This is something that everyone wore. We all had a pair of it. But now, it's not there in the market. You can't go to any shop and actually find it. There's probably one shop that might be selling outdated jeans, but right now it's more of high-waisted, it's more of trouser pants, it's more of maybe skinny jeans, but not the bell-bottom. And this is what a trend is. It's what's happening right now. And maybe you don't notice it very obviously. Maybe you don't think, oh, this isn't possible. Maybe trends don't change, like shoe trends don't change. But you would be surprised because the same trend couple of years back may not be the same thing right now. Like, for example, right now, having loafers with like office wear is not as common, actually speaking, because right now people do actually wear sports shoes with office wear, and that's a current trend. But 5 years back, sports shoes with office wear was a complete no.
Yeah.
So it's changed. So you need to actually notice these differences, and as a stylist, you have to be aware and updated about this. So here we're just going to talk about a couple of the bag trends. This information you can actually just go through Vogue, some of your common fashion magazines. You can look at celebrity street style. You can look at just normal street style. You can also just look at the shops and really understand what's selling for you to get an idea of what's in trend. In fashion.
So what are the 2020 bag trends that are going on currently?
So it's a mix of things, which is really interesting. So we're going to be talking about each one, and I'm also going to be talking about how this is good, the positives of it, as well as the cons of it. So why this trend may not work specifically for you when you're choosing it for a client. So the first one we'll talk about is canvas and leather. So you can see these brown and white kind of bags. They're very I would say very formal looking in a way, but it's not something that you could wear for an evening wear. So the positives is it's quite in fashion, it's leather, which is really nice, but the negative is it's not something that you could pick for a client who is going for a wedding occasion. Absolutely not. So even though this is in trend, you don't have to force it in. It's something that you would use maybe for someone who's going for office, like formal wear. It would work really well. Someone who's going for casual, maybe they have a lot of supplies to carry, then you could take something like that's a little bit more bigger, but it's the same current trend. Another one is woven leathers, and this you can actually see it pretty commonly now. If you see the luxury brands, this is kind of the bags that they have, and they're very nice. Again, trying to keep in mind that this may not suit all occasions. The next one is crochet bags. This is again another trend that's kind of in fashion for bags, and you can see this is again very different. May work for certain clients, may not work for certain clients. So use your common knowledge. Don't give them all the options that are there available just because it's on trend. Yeah. The next one is kind of sparkly, shiny bags. So you can see these ones, they have fringes. It's really bright. The next one is this kind of puffy leather bags. That's just not very stiff, but very loose.
And as you said, so basically we need to make sure that I liked when you earlier said that it's not just because it's trendy, it means that I have to buy it and I have to
Exactly.
suggest it, for example, for a client.
Yeah.
I need to still remember the character and the personality of the person wearing it, and at the same time what suits them. It's not just because it's popular, it means that I
Yeah.
need to like recommend it to them.
Yeah, and also keeping in mind what kind of occasion. So if they're a person who goes maybe 90% of the time, they are spending it going to clients. So they have their own business and they're meeting up clients. You don't want to give them something that they cannot use. So giving them something that's a shiny bag, even though it's on trend, they can't use it because they aren't going to an event like that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense for them to carry something like that if they're just going to meet clients. So you could give them something that's a little bit more, maybe the woven bags, that might be really professional.
Okay.
And it's something that could suit all the meetings and all the outfits that they're wearing.
Okay.
So really keeping in mind, what are you giving this, what's the point of it,
Yeah.
right? The same thing we talk about hair and makeup. Now, some stylists don't go into the hair and makeup. They just don't deal with that part. They just talk about the clothes. But I would say, as an additional, it's good to know hair and makeup. You do not need to know how to do it for them. You don't have to do it for them. You can take them to a place, but you need to know what to suggest that would work for their face shape, what would work for their skin tone, and give them ideas.
Okay, so that makes sense. It means that if I'm gonna style, for example, let's say that I want to style a celebrity and I want that as my career. Like for example, I don't know exactly how to do, like for example, the proper makeup or do the proper hair. I just need to have that enough knowledge for me to be able to recommend it and take them to the right places,
Yes.
so they can do it.
Exactly, and that's your role. So you don't have to do it yourself. They're not going to be expecting you to stand with a makeup brush, but you are able to suggest to them that this color will suit you better. So you can even give them tips and tricks of what could suit them. So in case this person that you're styling for your client is someone who's super busy, they have a very, very busy schedule, they don't have time to spend 2 hours on their hair. They just don't. Maybe they just have like 5 minutes. So you can suggest options that would take them 5 minutes. You can take them to the salon who would give them options for 5 minutes, but making it very clear that this is my client and this is their work schedule, but not forcing them to do a 2-hour hairstyling and makeup session when they don't have time for it.
Okay.
Right? So being very, very practical and understanding who your client is, because the more you understand them, the more they're going to recommend you and the more they're going to be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And this works for celebrities as well. So here you can see like a really good example of this hair evolution, but I would say this is also what hair suits her as she matured. You can see the starting in 2011, it's just like blonde, just like simple, and then you can see 2016 it looks really, really professional. It's very clean, it's very classy. So this is kind of an evolution of her personality, as well as you can see the stylist has really actually improved over the years. And so in 2016 the style actually suits her. It's really kind of shows her personality more.
Yes.
And this is just a very simple example of a celebrity. And you would see it even within yourself, like Rihanna. You can see this transition. It's very crazy. It shows a lot of her personality and it keeps evolving. Now going into all this information that you've got, one thing you always have to remember is you can select kind of key pieces and kind of trendy pieces, but always trying to keep in mind that you are not just designing one outfit for your client, unless it's a celebrity client for one event. But if it's going to be a normal client who has a daily life, you're not just doing it for one outfit. It's kind of an outfit that should transition throughout their day, or it should be something that they can wear with multiple pieces, because they can't have 30 outfits for 30 days, right? That doesn't make sense. So they should have key pieces that they can kind of mix along with things that they already exist, that's already there, maybe in their wardrobe, or already that they can kind of play around with.
Okay, so this role is not only styling them, it's kind of like coaching them a little bit on how they can style themselves using items, for example, that I've picked as a stylist
Yes.
for them.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would say it's like, it depends on what kind of clients you get. Some of them are one-time clients, but I always suggest to people that if you're doing something one time, it's good to have a lasting impression that the person really remembers you, and that's how you build your clientele. So if you have that one person, you've done it for one occasion, but giving them so much of information that they are able to use that information for their wardrobe, or for the next 7 days is going to be so huge for them that they would actually recommend you, and maybe the next time they need help they'll come to you again.
Okay.
Which is a bigger impact,
Yeah,
I would say.
that's actually very smart.
Yeah, so that's a tip that I would give to anyone who's trying to get into styling. So over here you can see a couple of these outfits. Now this is I picked these outfits just to show you something of a transition. So here the first one, she's just wearing like sports shoes. It's very simple, but she could easily wear heels, and this could easily translate to something that can be worn for an evening outing. The same thing for the next one. It's very simple. It could be a daily, just a simple outfit, and then again it could be worn with boots, and it could be easily transitioned to something that's a little bit more of an evening outing. So here's again another practice session for you guys. I would say looking at the current magazines, looking at older magazines, something that's maybe before 2005, and really comparing the change between the trends, because that's the easiest way for you to figure it out. Looking at the hairstyle from then and now, looking at the bags, you may not even realize it, but once you have the pictures, you'll start noticing that there is a difference. There has been a change. There's been a shift. Looking at shoes, shoes also have changes. So you need to actually look at maybe the colors, the style. How was it at that time? How is it now? There was a point of time where wedges was very, very popular. Like wedges was a very common shoe, and now you don't see it that often.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially here.
Yeah, at all. But there was a point of time it was super popular, and that was pretty much the shoe that was there. But now it's changed completely. So it's a very good practice for you to learn that.
Okay, that's good. So basically احنا في هاي التمرين نبغيكم تشوفون عن شلون الفرق ما بين اللي الحين الموضة الموجودة وما بين شلون كانت مثلا قبل 2005. تقدرون حتى تروحون اونلاين، تقدرون تشوفون ستايلات مختلفة، المجلات تقدرون تبطلونها، تقدرون تشوفون تطالعون مثلا الشعر، الجنطات اللي يستخدمونها، الثياب اللي يلبسونها، عشان تشوفون الفرق شلون صار التحول في الترند خلال هالسنوات اللي طافت كلها لحد الحين احنا شلون وصلنا. وتقدرون حتى تشوفون تطلعون الستايلات المختلفة وتشوفون أي أكثر ستايل اللي تحسون منجذبين حقه، وهاي بعد بيساعدكم إن تسوون ستايلات مختلفة.
Okay, so this is our last slide, and we have one more topic. This is our final topic, and it's all about developing your own personal style as well as working with a client, step-by-step process. So looking forward to seeing you there, and have a good day.
احنا المرة الجاية بنتحكي عن شلون تقدرون تسوون ستايلكم الخاص، وبعد بنعلمكم شلون تشتغلون مع كلاينت وتسوون ستايل حقه. فبتكون هاي آخر بارت من سلسلتنا، بتكون البارت الخامس. ف please make sure that you're on the lookout for our 5th part of the talk series.